Welcome students, welcome to my next video. Civics, topic number 3, features of the Constitution. In the last lesson, we have seen the preamble: sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic, and these goals expressed in the preamble and the characteristic features of this constitution as well. Apart from this constitution, also has other features that we are going to see in this lesson. The first feature is federalism. Now, my dear students, if you see that our country has got federal system of government. When I say federal system, there are two types of government. One, who is at the center, we say union government. Other one, who is at the state level. So, the central government, they look after the administration of the country, especially with foreign policy, establishing peace, and also look at the defense of the country. Then what is the role of the state government? State government looks at the administration of a particular state. Like, for example, we stay in Maharashtra. So, the state government of Maharashtra will look at the administration of Maharashtra. The system of running the administration of the country is cooperatively by the governments at two levels, making about different subjects, is called federalism. Now, separation of power. Constitution has divided the subjects and making law between the union government and the state government. The first list is called union list. Now, under union list, there are 97 subjects, and the government, union government or a central government makes law. Then there is state list, which has 66 subjects. So we can see here in this, the state government make laws. Apart from these two lists, there is one more list called concurrent list, where both the state as well as the central government makes law. And there are 47 subjects in the concurrent list. So you need to know union list 97 subjects, state list 66 subjects, concurrent list 47 subjects. Union list, the central government make laws. State list, state government make laws. And in concurrent list, both the governments, central as well as the state, will make laws. So, my dear students, I hope you are clear this much with the explanation. Now we will see which all are the areas which come under union government, state government, and the both in the concurrent list. Now we will see first the union government. They look after defense, foreign relations, war and peace, currency, international trade. Then the state government, they look after agriculture, law and order, local government, health, prison administration. Third, where the concurrent list, where both the governments make Laws, they are employment, environment, social planning, personal law, education. So you need to remember these three lists: union list, state list, and concurrent list. Now, my dear students, we need to know how many states are there in India and how many union territories. In India, there are 28 states and 9 union territories. The union government controls union territories. Following are the 9 union territories: New Delhi, Daman and Diu, Puducherry, Chandigarh, Dadra Nagar Haveli, Andaman and Nicobar Island, Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh and Lakshadweep. I repeat: New Delhi, Daman and Diu, Puducherry, Chandigarh, Dadra Nagar Haveli, Andaman and Nicobar Island, Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh and Lakshadweep. As we know, our India is having a parliamentary system of government. In the parliamentary system of government, legislature is the highest decision-making body. Okay, so Indian Parliament includes President, Lok Sabha, that is House of the People, Rajya Sabha, the Council of the State. And the Council of Ministers runs the administration that emerges from the Lok Sabha and is answerable to the Lok Sabha for all its decision making. In parliamentary democracy, the discussions and debates takes place in the parliament and have a great significance. We have independent judiciary. If there is a conflict, and if the conflict arises, this dispute is taken into court, and the court hears both the parties and they give judgment. And if you are not satisfied with that judgment, you can go to the higher courts for appeal. Now, who gives the judgment? Judges, which are appointed by the president and not by the government. And you cannot remove the judge very easily because he is appointed. Once he is appointed, he will remain in power till he completes the age of the retirement age. Yeah, he can be removed in case if he does the malpractice or he goes against the constitution. Now we'll see single citizenship. As we all know, Indian constitution grants a single citizenship to all the Indians. That is none other than the Indian citizenship. Yes, my dear students, you are born in India. Naturally, you are an Indian citizen. Now we will see how the laws are made, the process of amending the constitution. Now, my dear students, amendment. When do we amend the constitution? Or when do we, make new laws if the laws doesn't suit the time? And we have seen it in the legislature. Always they are amending the constitution. But the basic structure of the constitution cannot be changed. You can amend laws. It is not difficult. The procedure is very simple. The majority has to vote for it. Then the president has to sign it. And your law is made. But judiciary is there to look after that, whatever the laws made, it doesn't go from the basics of the constitution. The basic structure of the constitution. That has to be seen by the judiciary. But you can amend laws, you can make laws, you can change it according to the time. Now, Election Commission. This term we are very familiar with. We all know, we see in the newspaper about Election Commission. Election Commission is an independent body which looks after the election process in India. Since India has adopted a democratic system of government, periodically the elections have to be held, and it has to be held in a free and fair manner. And the people, we the people, have a choice to select your own candidate, your own government, and we can vote. And this process is made easy, or this process is conducted none other than by Election Commission. And the responsibility of conducting election in India rests with the Election Commission. And you find after every 5 years, elections are conducted. The Lok Sabha election, the Rajya Sabha, the elections are held by the Election Commission. So you can see here the Indian Constitution has some important characteristics, features. In this chapter, we have studied only some of the important features. Other important features of the Constitution is exhaustive, and we will learn it in the next chapter. So thank you, my dear students, for your patient hearing. I wish you all the best for your examination. If you are the viewer for the first time, and if you are viewing it for the first time, please do subscribe the channel. If you like the video, please do like it. And if your friends are not aware of this video, please give awareness by sending the link. I wish you all the best.